Hey everybody, this is RPM with TornadoFrames.com. Today I got with me out at the school grounds. I've got two of our V-tails. I'm pretty passionate about both of these frames. On the right is the Whirlwind 600 and on the left is our Microburst 300. Both frames run 8-inch Gemfan props. So big differences. On the right, ready to fly without battery. The Whirlwind 600 as equipped with 2208 motors is 1,000 grams, right at 1,000 grams. And the Microburst 300 without battery, ready to fly with 2208 motors is right at 550 grams. So they're spinning the same prop. And current setups on the frame on the right, I've got a 4-cell setup with 1,000 kV motors. The smaller frame, the 300, I've got only a 3-cell setup with 1,100 kV motors. I also really like, I've got a set of 1,450 kV motors that I really like on this, on 3-cell. I think this cell here with 1,100, something like 1,000, 1050s, 1,100 is going to be really good on 3 cells. It's pulling about 37 amps as it's equipped right now, giving me 370 watts at full pull. And that's just a really good for the 550 gram ready to fly weight minus lipo. That with the 8-inch props is just a really good setup. And I think, I have not gotten a chance to push it, maybe later today. I think this setup will also be viable. I've got 20 amp controllers in it that are 4-cell compatible, and I'm going to stick a 4-cell in it. So with 1,000 kV motors, I easily should be able to do a 4-cell setup. That's exactly what this machine is running, is a 4-cell setup with 1,000 kV motors. And it can easily lift around this 1,000 gram frame. So that kind of performance on the 550 gram Microburst 300 is just going to be crazy. This is the biggest setup we can run on this frame. I wouldn't want to put much more weight on it. Although the prop diameter, your quote wing area, can handle it. The 8-inch props, you'll see here as I rotate the tips up, are pretty close. All my testing, all my beating, I'm running some pretty beat up old props today. Those are really close. So 8-inch, matter of fact, if you had some really flat pancake motors that brought the props down, you wouldn't be able to go to an 8-inch prop diameter. So our light, this is what I would consider our heavy setup on this. 2208s, you can just throw a ton of power at it. You've got the heat dissipating capability of the 2208s. We also like a 2204 motor, something like a 1,500, a 1960, like 2,000 kV motor on 3 cells with like a 6 or 7-inch prop. We're experimenting with different prop sizes right now to come up with a quote light setup. I'm hoping to drop about 100 grams off of the frame by going to a light setup. I'm hoping. This is flying in 1,800 milliamp 3-cell right now. The 600 is flying a 4-cell. You want to fly about a 2,500 to 4,000. So let's power up the 300 and give it a quick flight. So I should explain while I'm powering up, this smaller frame has got a ReadyToFlyQuads Flip 1.5 board for its controls. I'm also running, the motors I'm running are the Hercules brand motors from ReadyToFlyQuads.com. We really enjoy Paul's prices, the fact that he's here in the States, the support he provides, even though he's so swamped with business, we still appreciate his knowledge in motor and frame and controller choices. Great place to shop. So once again, RPM with TornadoFrames.com. Let's give a shot to the Microburst 300. So this is self-level on. Let's demonstrate some of its yaw performance with self-level on here. It's really, really good frame. I am running, because this is an A-tail frame, I've got running this in the Y4 configuration of the sketch. Y4 will fly right out of the box. We do have an optimized sketch that has a different PID mix in the main mix under the output.cc section of the sketch that I'm running right now. This is something I've been working on for the last little bit. and I'm excited with the gains I've been able to find. I love the tail. This is just a little hot rod. So that's all been with self-level on. Minor tweaks to the PID numbers in the GUI. So that's all self-level on. Let's go self-level off. I am flying MWC 2.3 on this. So let's show off first some of the power. So once again, this is 1100 kV motors, 3-cell 1800 pack, and 8-inch Gemfan props. So it's not a rocket, but it's good power. It's good, fun power. Definitely confident flipping it and rolling it. Got power there that if I lose too much altitude or more altitude than I expect, I can jam in some throttle and catch it out of the bottom. Enough power to consecutively, constantly flip and roll and be completely comfortable. Got a good wind off of my left shoulder, probably about a 10 mile an hour, so you can see me floating around and getting pushed around with that. Right now we're flying with the gyro, with ACC off, flying just gyro only. I've got quite a bit of throw in this right now. My RC rate is turned up to 1.6. I've got a healthy amount of expo running off the GUI, and then on top of that I even have some more expo running in my radio, about another 25% running in my radio. So once again, nothing crazy as far as flip rate. Feels pretty controlled. So let's try and bring it in here a little bit tighter. So once again, this is the biggest prop, the biggest quote wing area you're gonna run on this little Microburst 600 is these 8-inch props. The rear props on landing, if you land in tall grass, there's a landing, just a quick bounce. Let's check the frame and keep going. So let's check it over. Everything's still attached. It's already flying pretty junker props already. These have been pounded a couple times. So I'll actually show you here the prop clearance. It's really tight prop clearance on the tail there. So I just activate the flight control board and just get right out of the air right away to avoid any issues on the ground. But once again, this is the largest. This frame's really not even designed for anything this large. So we'll fire it up and just get right out of there. Don't want to burn up a speed controller sitting there stuttering a controller. So once again, this is gyros off. So when you set it down, find a really tall grassy section, I just kind of hover it and then disarm the board. So now, because I am flying 2.3, I'm pretty confident and really liking the horizon mode. So let's go ahead and switch to horizon mode now. This is a good in-between mode that a lot of guys like to fly in who are just experimenting with acro. Gives them the confidence of letting go of the sticks, as I just did there, and letting it self-right itself. I'm not a big fan of it. I like a frame to keep going where I left it. And so here I'll lean on the frame and let go, lean on the frame and let go. And I don't like that. I would rather let it go and fly the machine in acro mode only. But good in-between mode for guys who are just experimenting with acro. Once again, this is on a ReadyToFlyQuads Flip 1.5 board. Incredibly powerful board for the cost. So there again, I'm going to flip it out of horizon mode. I'm not a big fan of that. I like acro mode. So there we go. I was right at the limit of power there to save it. I came out of that flip a little low. So that's on a 3-cell system with 8-inch props and 1100 kV motors. So my favorite right now on a 3-cell system is the 1450 kV, but finding them in a quote quad motor is a little bit harder. Most of the quad motors nowadays, you're going to find the highest kVs, or some of the Sunny Skies. I think they're the 1250s. This frame just tosses around, so nimble. Like I said, I want to try this setup, these motors, with a 4-cylinder prop. I'm sorry, with a 4-cell power system on the 8-inch prop still. I think it'll be pretty fun. Try and show off some of the yaw capabilities it has. Really just honkers down. So wind's picking up now over my left shoulder. I've probably got 10 to 12 miles an hour easily. You can see the nose rearing up when I lean in it to the left there. This is only a 30C battery. I think with the numbers I've got, 370 watts as it is, 37 amps. My voltage is dipping a little bit, flyable but dipping. A good high C battery would really wake this setup up. So let's go ahead and land it, and I'll switch and do a flight with 4-cell. We'll set it down. You can see how it sets down in the grass. So you see I just set it down on the nose and then let the tail, and as the tail is setting, I just deactivate the flight controller. I have the motor stop undefined. I like a motor idle on multi-week control. I think it helps in acro. Some of those heart-stopping prop stops, a lot of guys like doing those maneuvers. I don't like them. I like the props to continually be spinning. It seems like I can get back in the throttle quicker and maintain flight control of the machine. All right, shut it off and let's go to 4-cell and do another video.